Okay. Alright. Welcome everyone. Gonna do some Zelda today. Hope this thing is working. I think it's working. But yeah, let's make some Zelda-like. God, I haven't touched this in how long since I touched this? This was 3 months ago. Looks like 3 months ago today. So, what did we do last time? Looks like we could walk around, hit things with a sword. I doubt we did any camera related stuff. Yeah, I gotta dust everything off. Yeah, no camera stuff. Okay. So, that's what we're gonna start with. Camera. And I'm just gonna make this quick and do what we usually do and steal it from a different project. So let's just look at the camera. Honestly, I think we could just steal this entire thing. Where does the camera go? I think it just goes in the player? No. Does it go in game? It goes in game, okay. So, new scene, camera 2D, and it also needs a tween in it. Add a new script. I'm just gonna call this camera. Save this in engine, I guess. Yeah, building off of something else, let's say that. I mean, if it's mine, it's mine, so. Alright, I know that people like to rewatch these streams and probably don't want to go back and watch Find the Stars Align one, so let's just take a look at this and go through it. So, what we're doing here, well, first let's see if it works and then I'll explain it. Let's add the camera to this scene. We're gonna make the target the player. And then we also have to set screen size to whatever it is here. So 256 by 144. And then let's just add some extra rooms real quick. I also want to show the grid. Did you ever figure out how to make transitions to rooms with variable size? No, I haven't really even tried that since last time, but I would like to figure that out. I would like to figure that out for this project because I am thinking of doing variable room sizes for the next Zelda-like stuff. So I think if I play around with it off stream, I won't be so God, my dog's barking, I'm sorry. Should be able to figure it out eventually. Let's just see if this works. Alright, so it's already fucked. With that you could evolve from Link's Awakening to Oracle's like. Hold on, I'll be right back. mouse in the house wants to take care of the dog. Okay, so with that you could evolve from Link's Awakening to Oracle's like, yes. Now Oracle's actually... The way Oracle's does it, so Oracle's doesn't have variable rooms. Oracle's just has, from what I could tell, larger rooms in general that has its own screen size. And if it is variable, like I think there might be like long rooms. It's still aligned to a grid. So if it's aligned to a grid, it might be easier. Like what I'm saying, it definitely does have larger rooms with screen scrolling within the rooms. And maybe, I'm pretty sure it must have like 2x1 rooms or 2x2 rooms, but I don't think it gets any bigger than that. And if it's that limited, I might be able to figure out a solution off of that. But it's when the rooms could be literally any size, like 1 tile longer, 2 tiles longer. That's when it's a little confusing. Oh yeah, so is this gonna move at all? Okay, so it is working. It's just need some of this. Okay. Alright, so we have the screen transitions. Now we have to pause. What happened? What? Oh, hold up. Alright, that is not necessary. Or that specifically is not necessary. I think that was your line of code. This right here, scroll direction. So we could get rid of that. Yeah. Then we need to remove that. I think the rest of this should be good. Position equals, I don't know why that's still there. Oh, that was before we added in the tweens. Can't remember if I did this camera stuff on a stream. I know I did some of this on a stream, but I'm not sure if I did the stars align stuff on a stream. Oh, we could get rid of this projectile stuff. Actually, no, we're keeping that. We'll probably use that. Alright. So next thing we have to do is pause off-screen enemies. And also pause the player when the screen is changing. So I already have all these signals set up. Oh, I said I was going to go through this. So basically what this camera script is doing is this just gets placed anywhere in the scene, and you need to set the target. This is what it's going to be following. And what happens, the gist is it's looking for the target grid position all the time. And this is the visible area of the screen, and this line checks to see if the target is not on screen and if we're not already trying to scroll the screen. And if so, it'll do scroll camera. And all scroll camera does is it takes a tween, it takes the position of the camera, and if you followed my old Zelda stuff, it's the same stuff here. It multiplies the grid position by the screen size, and then this is the speed of the tween, and then it just tweens it. And then that's pretty much it. This is getting the grid position of the screen. By grid position, I mean if the screen was cut up into a grid like this, then this is 0, 0, this is 1, 0, this is 2, 0, this is 0, 1, 1, 1, you know. And that's pretty much it. Okay, I could take this out. Probably, I'm gonna have to do pause myself later. Screen change completed. I don't really care about that. And you know what, we'll add this in later. I'm gonna forget that I removed that, but we'll add that in once we have projectiles. So I don't really want current equals true here. Set them manually. And the rest of this looks good. So how did I pause stuff in Stars Align? It looks like I just, with those signals, I guess I just set physics process to true or false. And how did I connect these signals? Camera equals, okay, so I just got it relative to the player. So let's do that. So yeah, okay. And then we have screen change started, self, halt, physics process, and camera connect, screen change completed, self, resume, physics process. Wait, was it? Yeah, stuff is a process. And then cool. Let's see if this works. Yep. I think he's still playing the animation. No, he's not. Alright, so there's some, for the first time ever, we got some actual screen transmissions. Something shaking. That might have been my fan buzzing up. Oh, as I type. Oh man. Like this. That's annoying. Here, I'll try to relax a bit on my keyboard. Since you're doing a Zelda-like, I shared a cool post from years ago that showed off some original Zelda concept art. Oh yeah, I saw a picture. I think they had pictures of that or like that in Hyrule Historia, the book. I know that they had stuff showing how they designed some of the Link's Awakening dungeons on grid paper. That always interested me. Alright, next thing we have to do is make these enemies stop moving. So, let me ask you guys. In Link's Awakening and stuff, or I guess just in any 2D Zelda game, enemies stay dead if you walk back, right? Hey, Andre. But enemies stay dead when you go in there, right? And I'm pretty sure the enemies also, like, if you hit them once and then leave and then come back, then, oh, enemies respawn? Huh. Well, I'm not going to make it like that. I'm going to make it so the way I have it done in Terra Labyrinth is the enemies will stay dead if you kill them, but if you leave the room and re-enter, they'll respawn in their correct positions. So I'm going to look at Terra Labyrinth's code for this. See, y'all probably don't think I ever written a line of code in my life because you only ever see me copy it from other stuff. Where's the camera script? Camera doesn't have a script. Enemy script? Right, that's an engine. Oracles are bigger rooms where the camera follows Link with. No, I know there's rooms that they follow Link around, but I'm pretty sure in the dungeons they're like. Let me just. I'm pretty sure all of the rooms are by default just larger. Like, this is the regular room size of a dungeon. And then I think some rooms... Hold on, I might be wrong. They're going to prove me wrong right now. Watch. Yeah, I know in dungeons. But I'm pretty sure just the default room size is bigger. So it's not variable room sized. It's just a single room size with scrolling. In Link's Awakening for Nintendo Switch, they don't stay dead. That seems like a quality of life change that they should have made. No, in the overworld, it's single screen. Like, overworld and some of these houses. Oh, there are... I think there's some houses that have room size, but otherwise it's single screen for the most part in the overworld, as far as I know. So, yeah, I'll look into variable room sizes again. Or at the very least get, what's the opposite of variable? Static room sizes with screen scrolling, because that should be easy too. We could get it to how the oracles have it. But I think most people, when they're looking for Zelda screen scrolling, just as an introductory, how do I do this kind of thing, I think this is sufficient. This is definitely better than what I had before, which was just cutting straight to the other one. Now there's the pause and then the screen scrolling and all that. So I think this is... it's getting there. Alright, so this is where I'm looking for entity. So global connect room change on room change. So on room change, if type is not player, global position equals start player position, and then initialize. So what initialize does in Terra Labyrinth is every enemy, instead of using a ready function, I made a separate initialize function, and then that sets their health, all that, blah blah blah, you know. So I'll be honest, I don't know if I like that for Zelda, at least, because here's the other thing with the Zelda-like series. I'm trying to make everything here as simple as they possibly can be. Like, if I go to any specific thing here, I think the most complicated thing here is going to be the hit detection code. And by the way, here's another thing we're going to do today. We're going to move this onto a... oh, are we though? I want to move this onto a signal, but here's the thing. Like, an area entered signal instead of checking constantly. The only issue with that is, let's say... I think these all die in one hit, so bad example. But let's say they didn't die in one hit. Let's say they died in 4 hits. If you hit one with a sword, here, let's also slow them down. If you hit them with a sword, you see how if the sword stays out, it'll continue to hit them. In some cases, if I did it on a signal, in some cases you could have the sword directly over them, but they won't be damaged. And that's the case with Terra Labyrinth, which is a little annoying because certain enemies in Terra Labyrinth could get on top of the player. By the way, the lighting and fog effects are temporarily out because I was testing this on the Pi earlier. But check this out. Here's the thing. Here's what happens if you do it on signals. It's hard to tell right now, but see how if there's a single one overlapping me, if it already hit me once, then it can't hit me again. And maybe that makes sense, but the point of knockback is to, you know, make it so that doesn't matter anyway. But if you get past the knockback, then... Here, let's kill 2 of them. There. I don't like that. So, I'm not sure how many situations will that happen in Zelda, but that's the reason why I'm keeping it checked every frame. And honestly, I can't think of a single thing that you're going to be running this game on that won't be able to handle this. Like, you could check to see if the area is overlapping every frame. In fact, isn't it doing that anyway? So, who cares? It's doing that anyway to see if the signal's happening anyway, so. I mean, it's probably slower because I'm doing it again in GDScript. But, it's fine. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm trying to make everything here as simple as possible. And what I was trying to say is the most complicated part of this entire thing right now is probably the hit detection, which is all it's doing is it's checking if you're colliding with any other hitboxes. If you are, it gets the hitbox's parent. So if the player is colliding with a Stalfos' hitbox, like his hitbox will see that hitbox and then it'll get the parent. Then it'll see, okay, is the parent an entity? Does it have damage? Is it not a player? And if so, just take the damage, apply some hit stun. That's just how long you're gonna be. What the fuck was that? What was that noise? Oh, someone just subscribed. Did that show up on screen? I don't even know if that showed up on screen. Oh, it did. It did. Cool. Forgot about that. Sorry. Thank you for subscribing. Anyway, so I'm gonna remove the sound, but not right now. So then it just applies a knockback, blah blah blah, plays a sound, and then if body has delete on hit, this is just gonna see if it's a projectile, delete itself, or the sword, delete itself. So Rock's Feather or wait, hold on. Aren't there timers on everything to prevent rapid hits? Yes, the hit stun timer. If they're in hit stun, then that's when they're flashing, and if they're currently flashing, then it won't allow rapid hits. Rock's Feather, Power Bracelet. I'm definitely gonna do. Okay, both of those I'm gonna have to put on my noggin cap and figure out how to do that, because both of those require different heights. I played around with different heights previously. I tried doing it in Game Maker, and I'll figure it out, but I haven't implemented anything like that in Godot. Maybe I'll do that on stream. Maybe I'll do that today, because that would be interesting. Rock's Feather, at least. Because all that would be, the way I'm thinking of doing different heights is we're going to have a shadow that's just going to stay in the same position as the player. Because I'm pretty sure the way it works in A Link to the Past is the player's collision stays still. It's just the sprite node itself goes up. And then in certain cases, I don't know, it does other stuff. But I'm pretty sure the player's collision stays still. That's why if you're jumping in that game and you're like hugging the wall and jumping, then yeah, the player's sprite will move up, but your collision's staying in the same place. And I think it shouldn't be too much of an issue to do that. And then there'll be certain other things. Basically, I think we're going to have a variable that checks. I'll have this an entity probably. A variable that checks an entity's height, and then it'll always be subtracting the height. It'll be adding y position or subtracting y position depending on your height. Like sprite position dot y is negative height, I don't know. And then for certain things, we'll see, I think we're just going to have it so if the player's height is not 0, basically there'll be an actual height value, but then there's also going to be, if things are on the ground, that's one thing, and if things are in the air, that's another thing, and things that are in the air can interact with anything else in the air, no matter what their height is. Maybe certain things will require a height variable. I'm kind of just spewing whatever right now. It'll make more sense if we get to that, and I would like to get that today. That would be a fun thing. But first, we gotta do this guy. Yeah, Michael, I've been jumping between too many things, but someone in my Discord was talking about the Zelda-like stuff. I'm like, oh, I want to do Zelda-like stuff. Basically, as soon as someone starts asking questions about the Zelda-like stuff, I want to start working on it again. So let's put these Stalfos back to normal. 0.5, 40. By the way, if you're wondering why it's 0.5 for max health, I'm doing 1 health equals 1 heart, and 0.5 health, they have half a heart of damage, which means anything should kill them in 1 hit. And that applies the same for the player and that up here. And I'm pretty sure I did the hearts correctly. And we should be able to just set the... No, that's definitely not... Oh, I think this player... This is the reason I don't like using export variables, because I always get confused. I'll change an export variable here, then I'll go to test area, but the point of export variables is you could change them per thing, and then it'll be different here. Always confuses me. But here, if we set it to 3 hearts. Now, what happens if we set it to 3.5? Just wondering. Huh. Okay, guess it just does that. But I'm pretty sure that's the actual maximum. I'm not gonna create sprites for halfway points. Like, that's cool. 10 hearts. In any Zelda game, once you have this many hearts, once you have, not necessarily 10 hearts, but once your heart overflows to the next row and you have 2, that always feels good. I don't know why I said that, but you know what I'm saying. If you played Zelda, that's when you start feeling, good at that game. Alright, so we still gotta make these guys freeze. We still need to add that. Oh my god, I'm removing that right now. Sorry. Thank you for subscribing, 1234. I'm just gonna remove the whole goddamn thing. Or no, I like the alert box. Maybe people don't like seeing that they subscribed, but I like it. Is there a way to set the volume to 0 though? Please. Well, I could go to subscribers and then media, volume 0. Alright, there we go. Alright, so where are we at? We still gotta make these guys reset. How am I gonna make them reset? So I'm pretty sure, hold on. Does anyone know if there's a way to, there's a couple ways I'm thinking. If there's a way to set it to their original default values, that would be cool. If there's a way, I think you could just reload the scene. If you could reload, I don't want to reload the whole scene, I just want to reload one scene. Alright, well they're saying queue free the old one and recreate another one. And I mean, yeah, sure, that works. Just replace the enemy with a new enemy. But what we could do instead is just set the position back to its original position. Which, you know, would be, it'd probably be easier on, well, I doubt it would affect performance at all. I'm just wondering, what makes more sense to you guys? Should we, at the beginning of the ready function, reset everything, or, well, that'll require some more stuff. I think the simplest thing to do would just be to just respawn the entire thing. So let's create a respawn function. Well, no, I don't like that either. One thing we could do is all of these are here, so we could remove all of these guys, because these are technically spawners for the enemy. These are just enemy tiles that spawn an enemy, then delete the tile. We could have the tile respawn the enemy, but I don't want that to happen for every enemy. I just want it to happen to living enemies. What is... how do I... Well, okay, I know how to do this. I'm just wondering if I were to make a tutorial on this tomorrow, what would be the simplest thing to do? So Terra Labyrinth, I have this initialize function. But the other thing is, I would rather do the initialize function and set all of the enemy or entity health, velocity, all of that. I would rather set that in initialize rather than ready, because it just it's just, I prefer opening up an enemy script and changing the values in the script than dealing with export variables, which will confuse people. But at the same time, export variables shouldn't confuse that many people, because you're not going to be pasting enemies into the scene itself very often. And if you do want to paste enemies, then you could easily create like a mini boss Stalfos that has extra health or is faster. But otherwise, you'd be using the enemy placer, and you don't have to deal with the annoying export variable stuff. So in that case, what I think we're going to do, I think we're gonna respawn. And by respawn, let's create. So we need a couple more things here. Use exports. Using exports will make your life easier for. Yeah, I mean, I don't like using it. I already know the benefits of export variables, and I don't like them. But I know a lot of people will like them, so. And it also is the immediate, obvious choice for someone doing this stuff. Like, yeah, use exports. So that's why I'm dealing with it, since this is supposed to be in a tutorial. I'm not trying to make my own game here. If I was trying to make my own game here, we'd be a lot further along. But it takes me so long to do all this stuff because I'm trying to do it the best I can the first time. But anyway, we're going to have a home position. And home position on ready is going to be set to whatever position they are when they start. And what's going to happen is we're going to have a respawn variable, or a respawn function. And respawn is going to, how do I get the scene, get the path, get path of scene. That's not it. What does get? Hold up. Does anyone know how to get the path of this scene? Oh, I didn't know there's a. Oh, never mind. That's not what I care. I'm saying, how do I get the file path of a scene? Like, where is this? Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, preload res sprite. Well, I'm going to preload it, but I don't know what res sprite is. I don't want to have to figure that out, or hard code what it is. Like, I just want to, like, where is this style photo saved to? Is that a thing that you could even do? I don't even know. I feel like I've seen it somewhere. Self get path? Get path sounds like it. Returns the absolute. No, that's hold on. Let's just print it and see. Okay. No, so I want to get the see, I'm not even sure if this is possible now, but I want to get the path to the player in the file system, not in the tree. And I'm trying to think, have I done this before? Because I feel like I've seen this, but I don't remember what project I think I did this before. Is FPS? Because FPS I had to do a lot of stuff with finding a specific scene's something. I don't want to look through a million lines of code right now. I feel like it would be... Hold on. File name? Wait. Properties. File name. Why did I not see that? File name. That's probably it. Thank you. That's exactly it. Okay. Sweet. So what we're gonna do is in entity respawn, we're going to be equals load instance get parent add child new instance position equals home position. I don't want this to respawn, I want this to be reset. Yeah. So what this is gonna do is, if the enemy's still alive, when you re-enter the screen, it's gonna delete this entity, and then yeah, it's gonna delete the one that's already there and replace it with a brand new one. So let's see. We want to I just want to see how the scene structure looks. Okay, so they're all in the same place, so I could just connect it here the same way I connected it there. Hold up. Screen change started. Reset. Yeah, let's move all of this. This is every entity is going to use this. So, and we could pull that from the player as well. So when the screen changes and we halt the physics process, I should probably make these more general. Yeah. because we're gonna add some stuff. So when screen change started, if type equals enemy, we are going to guess we're gonna reset right there. No, we only want to reset the ones that are off screen. So the enemies that are currently on screen are gonna stay right where they are, but the enemies off screen are gonna get reset. So once the camera scrolls to the next screen, it'll all be ready. So if type is enemy, how are we going to check if they are on screen? So I guess let's make camera node out here. And we're going to check if camera what is it called? If camera screen rect? Oh, I don't. Alright, if camera rectangle so basically if the enemy is on screen, what it's going to do, I guess we only care about the ones that are off screen. They're gonna reset. Right? I think that's it. I can't remember. Blah, blah, blah. Huh. Hello? Interesting. Let's zoom out a bit. Why not is on screen? Is that something you could do? Don't you need a... I think you need visibility enablers for that. Don't stretch. Oh, okay. I want this to be offset. How do I do this? Interesting. So why is their home position not getting set? Are they all... They're all honing on 0, 0. It's not what we want. New instance position equals home position. And also, just to be sure. Alright, that did it. I also want them to stay off. Oh. I guess that works. Okay, and blah blah blah, do whatever you want. Okay, so that's working. Let's see how it looks. So the second I go, they should already be reset, so it looks like they were there the whole time. Why are they moving so quickly? Once the screen changed... Oh. I see. There we go. And then you could kill some, and they'll be dead forever. At least until you reload the entire scene. So if you were... Here's how I'm pretty sure it works in Zelda. If you kill an enemy but then leave the room but re-enter that room, those enemies will be dead. Because I vividly remember sometimes you would walk into a room that just had regular enemies, the door would shut and then immediately open and do da-na-na-na-na because you did that puzzle before. But if you went downstairs or left the entire dungeon, then they'll be back. Like, that makes sense. And mini bosses will be dead. And bosses. So I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. And if you were going to make different floors of a dungeon, those will be on separate scenes anyway. So this should work out exactly like Zelda does. In fact, I would like to do staircases to different rooms at some points. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just how it should work. So they're just dead now, and that's good. If you were to leave the entire dungeon and come back, then they'd be back. And then make note of how they look. As you're leaving the room, they're still they freeze exactly where they are, right? Exactly where they were, they're frozen, but once you come back, as soon as you trigger the going back, like the frame you press left right here, they'll be where they want. So I think that's working out. That's how it needs to be. So you're not gonna see any shenanigans as you're leaving the room with them getting teleported back to where they should be. They actually disappear as soon as you touch. Yeah, that's how it worked in Zelda 1. But I'm pretty sure that's how it worked in Link's Awakening as well. At least the Game Boy one. Like, I'm pretty sure the entire dungeon is loaded in Link's Awakening. Or the entire floor you're on is loaded in Link's Awakening. As you kill enemies, they're dead. But if you go to a different floor of the dungeon and then re-enter, then yeah, it'll have to reload the entire scene. It doesn't care about what basic enemies you killed. I'm pretty sure this is the way it works. I hope. Also, I like this reset function. I think I'm going to use this for Terra Labyrinth. I like that better than having to keep track of certain variables and just reset the position. This makes more obvious sense to me because it's like, yes, it's a completely fresh enemy instead of the same enemy that you're healing, resetting the position, doing some stuff. Plus, there are some things in Terra Labyrinth that I had to fix per enemy to make sure certain aspects get saved and some don't. It's annoying. I'll just respawn the node. Makes more sense. In fact, no, never mind. Another way you could do it that would save on memory usage, albeit probably very little, is you could keep, if you're using a enemy tile map, you could keep note of where they are. You could assign for each enemy what tile they're on, and once you kill the enemy, you'll remove that tile. And basically what you'll do is every time you leave the screen, all of the enemies in that room will get deleted. All the enemies in the place will be deleted until you enter the screen, and then it'll instance them right there. That way those enemies only ever exist when you're on screen. Because right now, the enemies still exist off screen, but you're just pausing them. So I think if you were going for, if you only had 4 megabytes of RAM, that's the way to do it. But I think we all have a little more than that, so I'm not going to worry about it. That's just a hypothetical. I'm trying to think in all those hypotheticals because I'm trying to get all this stuff working on the Pi, but honestly, the Pi 4 will run it. I'm very curious about what sort of sacrifices you'll have to make to get things running on the Pi 0, though, which I'm going to buy soon. If you're curious about Play-Doh, current progress on that. Games are running on the Pi. It's all good. Save and load works. Save and load wasn't working, but the guy who made FRT, he said, oh yeah, something got lost between Godot 2 and 3, and then he fixed it really quickly, so that works. Only issue is the sound effects in games on the Pi are not working great right now. Like certain short sound effects, you can't tell that they're not working well, but long sounds, like music for example, is completely fucked up in Godot. And I tried a ton of different settings, no avail. So from what I could tell, that's the only thing holding it back right now. Holding it back from what I want to do. But once I figure that out, should be good, I hope, because save and load works. 2D games run full speed. Like Stars Align, I have a bunch of particle effects running in Stars Align, like the stars and different like wall jumping stuff that I can't see right now because I don't have that. But Stars Align runs perfectly on the Pi 4, and I have no doubts that it'll run fine on the Pi 3 and probably 2. So, still working on the multiplayer on the Zelda-like project. I haven't been touching any Zelda-like stuff since I did that multiplayer stuff. But I'll play around with that again, because I still have ideas for that. That's just been, even when I was working on it, I'm pretty sure I was saying I'm probably not going to spend too much time on that. But working on multiplayer stuff in Godot is real fun, and working on Zelda stuff in Godot is real fun, and I have ideas for that, so probably. Just not actively, and not for now. Right now I just need the Zelda-like project in general to be working. In fact, I'm pretty sure I made some changes on the multiplayer version. I just want to take a quick look at that and see if there's anything important that I used here. Because this had the screen transitions, but it was the instant screen transition. It also had... Okay, so it didn't have restoring the enemy's position, so that wasn't there. I don't think there's much I could use on this, because everything else is pretty much the same. Let's just look at the player script. I think all I added in the player script is the actual, slave variables. This handles puppet, this handles player, this handles syncing if it's player. Yeah, the multiplayer stuff. This project, sorry, I'm shifting around right now. This project specifically, I don't really care about anymore, and if I want to do multiplayer, I could very easily just re-implement that into the current one, but I'll probably never touch this one in particular again until I'm trying to update this one. Because it's honestly just a few lines of code, it looks like, to add the multiplayer. Especially when it's... Oh, I mean, it's not just a few lines of code. I remember putting a lot of lines of code on... Oh, the multiplayer actually did have some good stuff in it, now that I think about it. Because I had to make the enemies because the host, whoever's hosting, controls the enemy, all the enemy logic. Like, they're doing the most work network wise. And you know that makes sense. But I had to make what is entity detect? I think this is, I did entity detect instead of just doing the camera rectangle stuff for some reason. I don't know why I did it like that. That's annoying. But I had to do some stuff here to make sure the host is always running enemy logic on whoever's on their screen. But then if a different player goes onto a different screen, it has to tell the host to run the enemy logic for that too. So, you know what? I am happy with this. This was quite nice, now that I think about it. Oh, you know what's the nice thing about our new stuff? Does it work with 100 concurrent players? Probably. I'm pretty sure I called that stream not a Zelda Battle Royale. But here's the nice thing about our new camera script is I think it's when the player walks off screen. Oh, if not, so before there was an issue where enemies could go right up here, and then if the player tried to go back, they can't, because they'll just get hit back by the enemy, and that's bad. But with this stuff, since the enemies get reset on the screen transitions, should work out. And if not, if an enemy's right here, like an enemy moves and goes right here, and the player tries going there, and the player's on this screen, because the enemies don't get reset until the screen transition starts. So I'm wondering, if an enemy's right here, a player might try to walk that way and then get knocked back right away, because the hitbox might extend like right past the boundaries or something like that, because both of their hitboxes are going to be reaching past the screen border. But in that case, I could just once the screen, yeah, in that case, no, wait, I could honestly just delete their hitbox right there, but I don't know. I'll do that once it comes to that, because I think we're fine. I think as soon as we get here, if we go back, I think we're fine. Not gonna worry about it. But yeah, the multiplayer stuff had some decent. Okay, you know what? I am gonna work on that. Not right now, but I do want to work on that. I remember, now that I'm remembering what we had to do on that project, I remember enjoying it. So probably gonna mess around with that again. How did I do it though? I remember it taking me a while, and then it ended up being a really simple solution. Can't pause physics during screen transitions for multiplayer. Yeah, I can. Why not? I can pause my physics. I'll definitely have to change how it works for enemies. Yeah. Oh no, you're right. You can't. You're right. Because that's gonna mess with. No, okay. Yeah, I'll figure that out later. I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna do this right now, or if I'm even gonna do this on stream, but I'd like to do it. What is this? Get out of here. So, got the screen transitions. That took an hour. What the fuck? What else is there to do? Also, I'm sorry about this noise right now. It's because my keyboard's on a like separate hangy thingy from the desk, and every time I move, if I lean on it, then unlean on it, it's gonna make a noise. So I'm sorry if that's annoying. But anyway, let's see what else we can do. Also, yeah, it's fine. That's fine. I'm wondering how much I care about the names of these files, because I capitalize everything in here, and then I lowercase all the file names. That's annoying. I mean, that's consistent with all my projects, I think. No, here I fucked it up too. God, I hate it. So, what's next? We have enemies, we have a player, we have screen transitions. We need more items, but I don't want to do that right now. I mean, I am curious about the Rock's Feather, but I'll probably do Rock's Feather as just part of the player instead of putting an item right now. Sword spin attack, that's another thing that I don't want to do, just because that's just a lot of setting up animations. And setting up animations are not the most interesting things to stream or to do in general, so I'd rather transition overworld, or just transitioning between scenes in general, I guess. Nah, I don't know. I think I want to do Rock's Feather right now, but that's also more animations. Do I even have... I don't even have jumping sprites, is an issue. Oh, what the hell? I don't have jumping sprites, so... Can I do Rock's Feather right now? I think I had jumping sprites on my old Zelda thing that I don't even have on this computer right now, so hold on, let me think. I know I have it in an email I sent to Andrew, so let me look in that off screen, because I sent him... Hold on. Let me get that... Here we go. So we got this. And there are jumping sprites here. There's also lifting sprites. So these are all the sprites we're going to need for the time being. So let's just get that going. How did I organize these? Down, up, right, down, right, up. God, why did I change that? It's so annoying. I always just change random things that work perfectly fine. All the time. I gotta deal with my hubris. So, alright. That's what we're gonna do. We're going to copy all of these. We already have the sword swing, so that's fine. All of these. Why is this? Oh. There we go. God, I just said I didn't want to do animations, but I'm about it. I mean, jump animation is pretty simple. I could do it without the animations right now, but you can't really get a feel for... Well, you can't really feel how it feels until, you know, you're actually seeing how it's supposed to look. Wait a second. Oh, I see. It's just this. They share sprites for up and down and for left and right, so just that whole thing. And they look close enough. In fact, I could... You know what, that's fine. Some of these sprites are similar enough that I could just kind of put them there. But Andrew could whip up the actual ones in like 20 minutes if he wants. Oh, I wonder if he's around. Let me tell him I'm streaming real quick. Okay, so All of these should still be good. So, okay. Oh yeah, we need the shadow. You're right. I'm gonna just get the actual one from Link's Awakening, because I want this to be authentic. It's probably not gonna be here. I'll make one. Yeah, why would it be here? Who's gonna rip that sprite? Yeah, okay. Hold on. We're gonna make this exact. How do shadows look? Come on, dude, you're supposed to go up left first. Hold on, I think the heart should have a shadow. There we go. Man, what kind of capture card is this? Oops. Don't demonetize me. There we go. Okay. Fine, I'll just make a custom one. It's gonna be 16 by 8. It's gonna be probably what it is anyway too. And the way it works in Link's Awakening is it just flickers and looks transparent, I'm pretty sure. So that's what we'll do. Oh, first let's I gotta all of the code that I'm working with right here is available on my GitHub, by the way. So if y'all want it, you can get it. Is this it? No, this is the wrong one. Hold on, I just want to look at how I... Alright, if y'all wanna play with that, it's on my GitHub, github.com/oneclick or whatever. I press push, right? Yeah, I did. So shadow. No, I do capitals for this project, but not any of my other projects. so this should go in an effects folder if I had one, but I don't have one. Alright, let's just instance that to the player. Way too big. Way too big. That might work better. That'll do. So let's just, and it's gonna be up. I'm gonna instance this onto every entity, or any entity that wants it. Hello? It's the wrong one. So when he jumps, it'll be under there. Also, screw the animation. Just gonna. Okay, that's too light. Yeah, that's fine. It's also too big, but I'll fix that. When he jumps, it's gonna be down there. So let's add some logic for jumping. We also have to create the animations. Yeah, let's create the animations. So we need jump vert, because they share this, up and down shares the same thing. This is gonna be 0.9. I think it's gonna loop. And let's make it. Just let me go to the end. There we go. It's probably slower than that. I don't care. Duplicate. Also, this should be 0.3. Just make it easier for the next one that I'm gonna make right now. Jump horiz. You know what? I don't like this naming convention. It's also not gonna work with our current scripts. So let's just make jump up, jump down is the same thing, and then jump side is gonna be our fresh one. Do a barrel. So now we need the jump state. First we need height. So this is gonna be the interesting stuff. How this is gonna work. We're going to increase the height for, we're gonna have two states, I think. We're going to have jump no, I think we're gonna have one state. Hold on, let me think. We could have one for jumping and one for falling. See, our naming conventions are going to get a little annoying here because we're going to have two states for jumping. There's going to be jump and fall, but then there's also going to be jumping off cliffs, which have to be named something. There's also going to be falling down holes, which has to be named something. So it'll be like ledge jump or hole fall. So let's just start with jump and fall. Let's just see. So state jumps will loop controls, loop movement. We're not going to loop damage for now. We're going to anim switch jump. And we're also going to do height plus equals 1. And if height is greater or equal to, let's say 16, state equals fall. And this is going to look exactly the same, except if height is less than or equal to 0, I'm sure it's 0. Yeah, so here's how this is going to work. Do we have input map set up? I'm going to set this to A. Or no, we're going to set this to B. If input is action, just pressed A, state equals jump. Right? Okay, so here's gonna be the important part. I don't know where I want to put this. I think we need a loop height. But honestly, I want this to be running all the time for everything. Or let's put it in loop movement for now. Okay. Okay, so I think it should go a little higher and be a little faster. Let's create a jump height thing for here. Does it have to be export? I don't feel like it does. And we'll also do, you know what, these will be export. Not everything was going to actually use these. Hold on. Oops. Lock that. Take the, oh, lock that too. What? Why wouldn't that work? Oh. Because not everything has shadow. Everything will have shadow soon. I still don't like it at all. This does not seem right. But, hold on. Whoa. Something's going up. Oh, god damn it. Hold on. No, I don't have all the colors I need, or all the sprites I need when I updated the sprite sheet. Have to update this too. Oh, come on. Alright, looks like those colors were slightly off. Okay. There we go. There are also z-index issues. I don't think that's gonna be perfect. At least that works. Oh my god. Something is working oddly. Look at those damage boosts you get. If you get damage and then jump, you fly. So, I mean... Hold on. I think we're going to... not let you jump unless you're allowed. Alright? As for jumping over things, player isn't supposed to have collision with enemies anyway, so I think all that's gonna be is changing the layers of this to be 2. Player's hitbox is gonna be, hold on, how's this gonna work? Stalfos collision layer is going to be 2. Hitbox layers could be the same, but we also have to add this tile map collision to include 2. So now the player should still take damage on the ground, but he should be able to jump over stuff otherwise. The shadow should always be... the z-index of the shadow should always be the same, so I have to change that. Maybe I could just set sprite z-index here. Yeah, that works. That was interesting. How did I do that? I kept my height constant for a second. State default. State default, I think height's always going to be 0. Let's just do that for now until I find a reason otherwise. Or we need a height logic. We need a height logic. So, okay. What we're going to do if state does not equal jump, anything where the height's going to be increasing in any enemy, we're going to call that the jump state for now. I don't think there should be any reason height should be increasing on any enemy unless they are trying to jump. So if state is not jump and height is greater than 0, and just in case, if excuse me. Oh. Calling twice as fast there. Oh, this should be that. I never did change that. I don't like the jump speed being like that. That's ugly. But I didn't like 1 that much either. Oh, that has to be an int. I'll change it to flow in a bit. We'll deal with 1. Alright, let's also do could add this to jump and fall. That's going to be in an item loop script later. Alright, so sword. Shit. Okay, so we need that to be constant. Oh, there it is. Huh? Oh, separate physics process doesn't happen until there. Interesting. Physics process doesn't occur until the player is holding out the sword. So that can't go there. We don't have something to set it all the time, because I wasn't expecting to have to do this. Interesting. So here's the issue. We can't set the sword position in physics process, because if this physics process isn't running, let's just do this the hacky way real quick. No. Okay, don't say false. That's gonna mess with that. Oh, that actually works. Oh no, it messes with that. Oops. Should be. Here. Well, I have a question. Does this engine use Python for coding or something else? It uses GDScript, which is, if you know Python, you should be able to pick up GDScript really simply. Like, really easily. It's not Python. It's its own proprietary language. But it's really easy to learn. And a lot of the syntax is based off Python. And you could also, there's ways to just use Python on it, but it's not worth it. Just, if you're interested in this engine, I recommend just learning GDScript. Learning Python and Java at college, so I want to get into game design. Yeah, I mean, if you're learning Python, like honestly, if you're learning 2 languages right now, as you're getting more proficient with programming, it should be, if you know 1 language, you could learn another, and if you know 2 languages, you could very easily learn GDScript. Like is there a Udemy course or something on GDScript? No, but the there's a ton of, well, actually maybe, probably actually. Yeah, definitely. But there's a lot of free tutorials all over YouTube. Like, That's a good one. Heartbeast has great tutorials. I'm not sure who has the best introduction. Intro to GDScript for programming beginners. That'll probably help you learn GDScript, but if you already know some programming languages, who cares? Honestly, just jump into any beginner's tutorial and you should be good. Don't jump into this one. This one sucks. But any of these should be good. So why can't I jump? I just want to be able to jump while I have the sword out. What's the issue? I actually tried your asteroids one for the engine, but I didn't know what to do with it, so it just sits there. Yeah, and it's also unfinished, so that one's bad. But there's a ton of other people. Heartbeast, GDScript, or GD Quest, Kids Can Code, they all have great beginner stuff. And if you're not a tutorial guy, or not a video tutorial guy, I mean, I'm sure some of them have some text tutorials. I'm pretty sure Kids Can Code does. But I learned the engine with the docs getting started. If you have made a game before, it's a good idea to try to recreate that game in any new engines that you're learning. If not, this should still help you out. But yeah. Let's see. I can't make the dude jump. And I don't know why. It's probably because the sword is forcing it to be in hold. So I think I have to recreate some of the jump state in hold. No, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna make a hold jump state. See, this is why I didn't want to do jumping in the old tutorial. And I'm probably not gonna cover jumping in the new one, if I'm being honest. Just because, or if I do, it's gonna be like down the line. Because it just adds so many variables. Wait. Yeah, see, I was trying to make these things kind of standardized, but then I have to break all of it and do it all in here. This is all kind of a mess, but everything here is a mess when I'm trying to figure it out, so bear with me. Wait, no. Oh, don't tell me no, I don't. Do I need a jump swing? Fuck. Oh my god, this is such a pain in the ass. No. Hey, what's wrong with that? Oh. Basically, at this point I should just put these in every state. Because I'm adding all these, oh, if this, except, unless it's this. So this lets you fly. What happened to my screen transitions? Oh. Yeah. Okay, I have the Mega Man screen transitions. I should probably just not let you do it if you're in the air to keep the Zelda whatevers. Okay. This sucks. I'm going to take it out. Also, I'm a dumbass. But that doesn't even matter because I'm not even going to use it. Yeah, I'm not pushing that to... Actually, if y'all want to try to fix that yourself, you could... I'll push it. Alright, I don't want to do Zelda anymore. So pick Stars Align or Terra Labyrinth or something brand new. Sorry asking for a lot of questions, by the way. I want to do game design, but it seems daunting as I'm a bad artist. No, dude, ask as many questions as you want. If you want to get into game design, do it. Game design is so fun, and it's not too difficult, and... Yeah, I'm changing the title to reflect the fact that I don't know what I'm going to work on right now. Yeah, dude, do it. If you want to join my Discord, there's a link in the description, I think. And, you could, we have a help page. If you have any questions on anything, I or anyone else can answer. So, yeah, welcome. So, Zelda first person shooter, no. First-person shooter would be fun to work on, but I'm still stuck in the same position I'm always in. The fact that I can't do multiplayer or enemy AI, so it's kind of like I don't really want to make a walking simulator, so I give up. Should make a top-down shooter. It's kind of like Realm of the Mad God. I think that's what it's called. I don't want to work on something top-down right now. Card game. I'm not I don't even play any card games, so I definitely won't be able to make one. By the way, if y'all are curious, here's Play-Doh. Let's show you this. I have a little launcher working for Play-Doh right now. Play-Doh is gonna be a launcher for Godot engine games that'll run on the Raspberry Pi. By the way, here, while y'all are here, let me show you how the Raspberry Pi shit is going. Because, hold on, sorry, gotta readjust. Wait, hold on. Oops. Oops. Can y'all hear me? You should be able to. I'm seeing it on OBS. Okay, hold on. Let me show you what's on the Raspberry Pi real quick. I've got a capture card, so I just gotta plug it in. Up. How would you do the Raspberry Pi stuff with Godot? Because that sounds pretty cool. The unfortunate answer is with a lot of work. It's been a pain in the ass to try to get working, and I still don't have it completely figured out. But the goal is, once I have this project done, anyone should be able to just add their Godot games and be able to play it. So, that's the hope. Alright, how am I just gonna... Sorry, hold on. I don't know how this capture is working. Hold on, I'm just trying to figure out... Oh, did that fuck with the headphones? I'm sorry. Fixed it, fixed it. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Is that staticky? I can't hear it. Here, I wanna hear it, so let me see. Half the thing I'm gonna try to show you guys right now is, that the sound is terrible on the Pi. But I can't even get the Pi to show up. I don't know why. Hold on. There's nothing showing. Oh, is my voice too low? Here. Get ready to adjust your volume. I just noticed that my mic is pretty low. I'm gonna turn it up just a tad to there, and that should be better. But why is the Pi not working. I haven't tested it just through the capture card yet, so. Here, maybe if I... Hold on. Sorry. The Elgato is plugged in. I don't know. Let me just try turning it off and back on. Like the fan is spinning, so it's on. I can't unplug my monitor to try to really see it right now because if I unplug my monitor, it messes with the audio devices, and that messes with my microphone. Hold on. Oops. Yeah, this probably isn't gonna work. It's plugged into the Elgato, right? Yeah. Alright. Sorry about that. That was a waste of time. Let's just go back to our regularly scheduled program. Basically, I'll try to get a video of it later, and I'll show you on my Discord, but the audio is super not working. And it's unfortunate, because everything else is working. The saving and loading wasn't working with FRT, but it's working now. So I need to... I don't even know where to go with this, because I don't know if this is a Godot on Pi thing. I don't know if it's a sound card thing on the Pi. I don't know if it's a driver issue. I was trying a bunch of things, but it's unfortunate. Alright, so what else do we have to work on? Only 2 streamers using Godot for Ludum Dare. I'd start I do Ludum Dare, but I'm out all weekend. Game like Classic Doom. I was legit trying to do that. Here's some Doom-like sprites, and this is also multiplayer, and there's some billboard sprites and stuff. You know what I would like to do? I want to make some actual goddamn videos on my YouTube channel. The last video I made was in like March or February or something like that. So, and that was the grid movement tutorial. And I'm not ready to make any tutorials on anything right now. I could do a tutorial on Stars Align, but how many platform tutorials are there for Godot already? So what I think I want to... I don't want to do tutorials right now. But I'd like to do some videos on just the things I've been working on in general. Well, here's the thing. I can make a tutorial right now, but I think 4.0 is going to come out in like a few months. Like, if you look at, where is he? This was recent. They already have Vulkan running real well on 4.0. Like, see? This is running on 4.0. So, and I'm pretty sure they said they wanted it out by the end of the year. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly, but I'm pretty sure. So, I can't do more Zelda tutorials right now because they'll be outdated in a few months. And any tutorials in general. So, what I think I want to do, I said I wanted to make a video on billboard sprites. Because well, the thing about the old, so many people are commenting on the old ones saying something's not working. I'm like, yeah, I know, because it's outdated. I'm definitely going to remake them for 4.0. I said I was going to remake them for 3.1 so many times and didn't. And then now that I'm actually feeling motivated to, it's almost not even worth it. Or it is not even worth it. What are billboard sprites, you ask? Billboard sprites are basically the way Doom has it, because Doom is a... Doom's perspective is in 3D, but it's all using... all of the enemies and stuff are 2D sprites. There's no actual real models. They didn't... like, it's not like Quake where there's actual real models that you could see a 3D thing of. Only the environment is 3D, and even then it's just a 2D map with a bunch of fancy tricks. But billboard sprites are basically a sprite that's just shaped straight up, and as you walk around it, it yeah, I'll show you. 1 second. Oh, lag. Okay. Here. Oh, he's tiny. She's tiny. But you see how it rotates around. Here, let me blow him up a bit. Oops. Okay. So I'd like to do a tutorial on this. Oh my god, why am I lagging so much? I'm lagging so much, and it's every time the sprite rotates. Something about that is not running correctly right now. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna blame it on the fact that I'm streaming. So, is that something y'all would want to see? Tutorial on billboard sprites? Or not even a tutorial. I want to do a showcase video on billboard sprites and then just put the source up so people could just do it themselves, because it's simple enough, but it's... the thing is, it's one script that anyone could add to their project easily, but I can't explain the script easily, so I don't want to do a full tutorial on it. But yeah, you see how the gun is always facing that way, and then the sprites change to reflect that? That's billboard sprites. It's not a real 3D model, it's just a... And honestly, I don't know if billboard sprites is the right name for it, because billboard sprites applies to this too. This is just one sprite that's just up like a billboard right there. Um, so it's more of what's a good. Everyone calls them billboard sprites, I feel like, so I'll just call them billboard sprites. So I could do a video showing that and then telling people how to do it. I wanted to do that when I made these originally, because the only other video on billboard sprites that I saw was way too long. And my method, ignore this, because this is only if you don't have enough sprites and you want to flip the sprite. All you need is this. This is all the code you need for billboard sprites. And when are sprites not billboard? That's what I'm saying. I don't know the proper name for the angle stuff. Basically, what I'm talking about is changing the actual sprite depending on the player's, the camera's position or perspective. And all it's doing is, this is just the this is 8 angles, or I have 5 angles, and then I flip 3 of them. Are just the opposite. I have 5 images, and it ends up with 8 angles. Basically, all it's doing is, this is just the vector between the camera, the sprite, and the camera. You could do 16 angles easily. All you do is do 22.5 here, and then you need more sprites. Instead of doing sprites 1 to 8, or in my case 1 to 5, you do 1 to 16. You can do this with any angles. You could do it with 4 angles. In fact, I'll show you the other thing I was working on. I mean, you almost definitely have seen this on stream before, but let me show you how this could change. Because here's an example of fake billboard sprites, where there's an actual model here, but it's being rendered as a billboard sprite. This is just a sprite here. This is just a viewport texture, and the viewport is in a separate scene where it's a camera that pivots 8 directions around a model. So what that lets you do, sorry for the shitty animations, what that lets you do is it lets you create fake billboard sprites, but with completely smooth animation. Or optionally, I want to figure out how to make it so you could lower the FPS of it and make it so it looks like it's just cut out of a sprite sheet. But you could edit like how pixely it is, and the other thing is you could edit how many angles there are. Cause check this shit out. Wait, if I do 22.5, now this has 16 angles, except it's fucked up. But you see how there are more angles available here? Wait, hold on, that's not right. I thought I had a better way of doing this. Guess not. Is it that then? Spray angle? Yeah, it should be that. Oh, I need to change both of these. So here's it with just more angles available. So it's just creating fake sprites for the whole thing. And if you want to do full 360-degree movement, it's there, but it's still a sprite, you know? It's offset a little bit, which is annoying. I think it's just because of this. Or not. I don't know. I haven't played with this in a hot minute. But that's a full 360-degree movement, or sprites, fully animated, but without a sprite sheet. How cool is that? So I'd also like to do a video on that, but I need to make it good first. I feel like that would be a really neat aesthetic for a game. Like if the entire art style was built around it instead of, because it looks bad there because it's in Kakariko Village, but if the whole art style was built around it, I think it would look pretty neat. I'll play with it. And what about sprites for looking down on sprites? Well, Doom didn't have it, so I don't care. There's no real way to make that look good, I think. And the point of it being a billboard sprite is the fact that if you're looking down on it, it's an actual, billboard. Like it's just one plane you see. But yeah, so I'd like to do a video on billboard sprites. I'd like to make, here's what I would really like to make. I'm really good at making, like, Andrew and I could throw together a good looking game with a cool concept in like a few days. So I'd like to just be able to do that and put up just, I don't know, because I'm more interested in making like good looking game prototypes than making actual full games. One thing that I want to do, I saw that video on Mario Galaxy's here. This is a good ass video that if y'all are getting bored of this stream, check this out or save it for later. Basically, this was showing off how Mario Galaxy used a couple basic ass tricks to make really good looking water. And I'd love to just do little things like that. Can you have the camera not rotate downwards but instead shift the y-axis like in the original Doom games? Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, like in the original Doom games, you don't often even see the billboards. I don't think you ever see it because you can't look up or down. So, but if you use like a source port, then you'll see obviously, yeah, it's just a straight billboard. What about a game that's like Total War? I don't want to work on a strategy game. They're a lot of work. Action games are so easy. All an action game is a game where you got different things that can move around and then hitboxes that when they connect to something else, it makes the other thing move around. That's all it is. The basis of an action game is just moving things and hitboxes that can move things. That's all action games are that. And they're easy. You know what I really want to work on? I got this this Mario game. What do you mean it's in use? Well, it's not. What is using that? What? Anyway, I got this Mario game. Hold on, maybe I could. Why is this broken? Why is this broken? This was working fine. It's weird. Anyway. I want to work on this again. Maybe not multiplayer, but I thought the physics were working decently well. Yeah, there's probably, yeah, probably. I don't know what is. Cause this I got this closer to Mario than I thought I did. Because when I was working on this, I worked really hard on making it feel like Mario. But then I just didn't touch it because when I tried thinking back on it, I was like, no, that didn't feel anything like Mario. And especially now that Mario Maker's out and I've been playing that constantly, I was thinking how I couldn't have made it work at all. Like, why bother? But nah, it's better than I thought it was. And all the Mario physics are, you got acceleration, deceleration, speed, jump speed, gravity. And you know, you just let him move around, and then if you're holding the run button, just make him the max speed higher. That's it. Now if you're trying to do like Mario World or something, it's a little more difficult because Mario World has some subtleties, like if you're holding the jump button, he falls slower. That's something that you might not realize in regular gameplay, but yeah, that's a thing. Or with the spin jump, you can especially notice it because spin jump has slower fall speed in general. Like spin jumps go lower and have slower fall speed, but if you let go of the button, you drop. But if you hold the button, it's a little slower. It's real nice. So I would love to make I'd love to sit down and try to make Super Mario World work. I'm not sure how interesting that would be to stream right now. Like, let's just look at the sprites real quick. Let's see how much it'll take just to make the set up the animations. Setting up the animations is the most annoying part. So how many sprites does this guy have? Like a fuck ton. You see this? A fuck ton. Alright. A lot of these are just different palettes, and a lot of them are cape. But otherwise, for small Mario and big Mario, it looks like it's just this. What is the difference between Palette 1 and Palette 1 World Map? There's a lot of unnecessary sprites here, honestly. Like, okay, I would never ever be able to remake Super Mario World's cape physics. Like, the cape physics in that game are insane. Like, Super Mario Brothers 3, that would be an easier remake. Cause Tanuki, easy as hell. Tanuki, you just had to see if the player's at P speed, and if he's at P speed, just let him keep going. That's it. It would probably be better to just remake the cape with a ribbon sprite with shaders? What do you mean by that? Also, oh, look at how, like, Super Mario Bros. 3, it's like very little sprites. What are all these extra ones? Why did this guy add custom sprites to this? Original Mario Bros. Already did original Mario Bros. Oh, Mario Bros. I see. Nah. That game sucks. IMO, sorry. Oh, this is pretty. How is this not shut down? Wow, this game is gorgeous. How is this not shut down? Yeah, what is this made with? Game Maker Studio. Interesting. Holy shit. No, I think this has a big enough fan base to get shut down. 500,000 views, that's enough. Dude. Add some parallax to these backgrounds and that'd be gorgeous. Wait, hold on. Look at those fireballs. See the smooth fireballs? That's so sick. Do you have the flips on the star? No flips. Damn. No, Nintendo did not realize their mistakes from the past. You kidding me? Nah. They haven't seen it yet. There's also... What is it called? Super Mario... Oh, what is it called? Flashback. Super Mario Flashback. This one's gorgeous. See, that's what I'm talking about. You just add some parallax. It's perfect. Look at those clouds. This is some good-ass art. I mean, anyone remember Super Mario Bros. X? The OG Mario Maker? This game's still baller as hell. I'd say this is the gold standard of Mario fan games. It's made by the dude who made Terraria. This got shut down. But I'm pretty sure it's because their website was called like Mario.com and Nintendo was like, no. So Nintendo took the domain and shut down the project. I'm not even entirely sure if the project got shut down. Or if the guy just saw that and stopped working on it. This has nothing to do with what you're talking about. In Godot, all my collisions stop working as soon as I use the get overlapping bodies function for a random area 2D and I can't find any fix for it. Maybe you have an idea. They stop working as soon as you use it? I've never heard of that before. I'm sorry. Are you sure that's the only thing? Like, once you call the function, it stops working? That's wild. Speaking of good-ass maker games, look at this. Forget the Godot tutorials. If you really just want to make your own Zelda game, just get this. Look at how good this game looks. Man. Oh man. Look at the sword swing. That's good. Oh, look at that spin attack. Man, I would love to make my game like this, but at the same time, if I really wanted to make a Zelda game, I'd just buckle down and learn Adventure Maker. That's my hot take. Yeah, it's always nice to do it yourself in your own engine, but if you're just trying to sit down and make a game, there's a reason these engines exist. Just look at this. I will say, something about the movement seems a little stiff to me. But that's not to say this isn't freaking amazing. Anyway. That just made me want to go back and... You know what? We still have to finish the level design for Stars Align. We're so close. I still have to add speedrun and permadeath mode. Okay. Because look, we did so much in the last stream for Stars Align, and then I got caught up with that Raspberry Pi stuff. Sorry, excuse me. So, all we need to finish Stars Align are the last couple of rooms right down here. And the fun stuff with these rooms is we could do anything with these rooms, because at this point you already have all the items. So it's like, it's go time from there. Turn this down. So, what are we gonna do here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms. Really 4 rooms that we have to make hard as fuck. So, let's see. We don't have a lot of rooms that use the ice beam. So, let's just start with spikes. What enemies would be an interesting ice beam enemy? See, that's the thing. Level design is boring. And I very often just want to make something stupid like this. Oops. Because, I mean, this works. No, that's a dumb room. Oh god, I'm sorry. I want to keep streaming. I want to keep streaming. I'm not done yet, but I really don't know what else to work on. Because I really don't feel like working on Zelda. Yeah, sorry about that. Gonna call it a stream right now. Thank you all for watching. If you want to keep up to date with the shit I'm working on, or ask any questions about Godot, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, do all that. Or just wait for more streams, because I'll probably waste half the stream showing off whatever I'm working on anyway. But yeah, thank you all for watching. See y'all later.